Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a video. I'm going to show you all three of the Keurig K Slim coffee makers. So they just came out with two of them. This is the original one. This is the new one with the multi-brew or MultiStream technology with the 5 needles. This is their original with the single needle. And this is their new iced. The K Slim iced. It's got an iced button. Unfortunately, it's just got the single needle. And again, here's the new one, the K Slim with the MultiStream technology. So all three of these K Slims have the exact same dimensions. What's interesting though is they gave these two the same model number. So this is the original K Slim, model number K900. They gave this one the exact same model number. Now the K Slim's iced, they gave it's a K901. So right now, I only see this one on the Keurig website. I haven't seen this new one at Amazon or Walmart yet, or Target. I was at my local Walmart. I still see the older one with the single needle. And like on Amazon, they're still showing the single needle. Now I've only found this one at Target and on the Keurig website. Now prices are kind of all over the place. Right now, this one, the iced, is retailing for $120. I haven't seen it go on sale yet. The original one, I've seen it around $75 at Walmart and on Amazon. Now this new one, it's retailing for $100, but I did pick mine up for $75. They had a $25 coupon on the Keurig website, and I just checked today, they've got a $20 coupon, so it's going for $80. So again, if you go to Walmart or something, the boxes are gonna look really similar. It's gonna say K Slimmed, but if it's got the single needle, it won't say this MultiStream technology. Other than that, these things are almost identical. We close them. So here we have the two that are identical. You have the exact same 8 ounce, 10 ounce, 12 ounce, D-scale light, add water light. These, for all purpose sakes, are identical except for the 5 needles. Now the iced, we get into some differences. Mainly, it's got this over ice button, which is a really, really nice feature if you like over ice coffee. It's still got the 8 ounce, 10 ounce, 12 ounce, add water, D-scale light. But again, just a single needle, which is okay. But this over ice button brews a 6 ounce coffee K-cup, and it brews it at a different temperature. It starts out really warm, and then it gradually gets cooler so it doesn't melt the ice as much. Really, really nice feature. I would have loved to have seen that over here. But that's when you get into the K Supremes. So here I've got a K Supreme. They've been doing this for a while with the 5 needles. And they've got over ice functions with the over ice. So this is the first time they've brought that K Supreme technology to a K Slim. So I'm going to brew a coffee. I have detailed videos on this one, how to brew over ice, how to descale it. And I show you how to descale this one and add a water filter. Neither one of them come with a water filter. If we look around the back, the water tanks are all three identical. They all have the same plug-in cord. So if you want to add a water filter, I show you how to add the Keurig the tall handle water filter. So this bottom brew basket, it all looks the same. There's that single needle in the bottom, single needle in the bottom, and single needle in the bottom. And again, even this kind of hinged area all looks identical. So in this first part, I'll brew a K-cup, a coffee K-cup, and then we'll do an over ice. So we're simply going to put the K-cup in. We're going to press 8 ounce, 8 ounce, 8 ounce, and then brew, brew, brew. So I'm amazed how quiet these coffee makers are. So with this multi-brew technology, hot water is going to come out all 5 of those needles. They all 5 have holes in them, and the hot water comes out all of them. Okay, so let's brew a coffee K-cup. I like to brew my coffees on 8 ounce. 8 ounce, 8 ounce, 8 ounce, brew, brew, brew. So I'm amazed how fast and quiet these coffee makers are. So this one was lagging behind just a little bit. I thought they'd all be identical. Temperature wise, 190. I've checked it before. It gets up to about 192 or 194. There's 193. There's 187. Okay. And there's kind of a pump that runs at the end a little bit. And then they're quiet. These all have, you can brew back-to-back brewing. I could put another K-Cup in there and brew another coffee. They're very fast. So the coffee between these two, I don't taste a difference until you do the brew over ice on this one. Now, this one's the MultiStream technology, and this is the single needle. So you're not going to be able to see it by looking at it. They both look like the same strength. Yeah, this one cooled off just a little bit more, but they're both about 160, 165 when they first get done. So I'm not a coffee expert taster by any means, but I do sense a little bit of a bolder or stronger brew with the MultiStream technology. Now, where the MultiStream technology shines for me is on the K-Supremes. On the K-Supremes, I can select more temperature and a bold brew. So when you get into the K-Supremes, I find the MultiStream technology you can definitely taste a bigger difference. Here, it's kind of subtle. It's not a big, oh, whopping, oh, wow, I can taste that's different than that one. But I do tend to taste more of a coffee flavor with this one. Now, it's not more bitter or anything, just maybe just a little bit stronger. So here we have the K-Cup with the 5 needles poked in it, and then the other ones just have the single needle. So again, here when we open the 5 needles, it's a little hard to tell. Sometimes you can see the actual, each 5 needle where it pokes in. And then here we have the single needle. So yeah, not a big difference as far as what we're seeing on the inside. So one thing with the 5 needles, you do tend to get a few more coffee grounds up here. So I find myself doing more freshwater rinses. So a freshwater rinse is just don't put a K-Cup in here, close your handle, do an 8-ounce brew, and it brews hot water through there to clean those needles. When you have the single needle, you don't notice it as much. You still do get a little coffee grounds up there. But when the 5 needles do tend to get more coffee grounds up here. Now, they don't make their way into your coffee as much as you would think. Because when you've got the cake, so say you got coffee grounds up here, they would have to go around the K-Cup to get into your coffee. And typically when they're poked a hole in here, they're kind of sealed. So the coffee grounds typically stay on the top and they don't make their way around the K-Cup into your coffee. So now where this K-Slim is going to shine is with the brew over ice button. You can use a normal coffee K-Cup. And again, here's where you're going to notice the biggest difference. 8 ounces is the lowest amount I can brew. They really want you to brew like a 6 ounce through a coffee K-Cup because the ice is going to melt and dilute it. So that 6 ounces ends up being like 8 or 10 ounces. And that's where this thing really shines. So by pressing this button, none of these other buttons are lit now, and now just the big K button, that tells the machine to only brew 6 ounces through that coffee K-Cup into there, and it's going to brew it at a different temperature. So here we've got to select 8 ounce. So let's brew, and brew. And this is just like a coffee K-Cup. So that temperature is going to come out really hot the entire duration. Over here, it ramps up. It ramps up first to a pretty high temperature. But then as the brew goes on, the temperature comes down. So we get up pretty quick, 185, 184. And again, these will have 2 more ounces in them than this one. And this one does take a little bit longer to brew, not much. So we can tell right away. See how much ice? I put the exact same amount of ice in both of them. Ice melts pretty quick in those. This one actually does a pretty good job. So the over ice feature on this one is just really nice if you find yourself doing over ice coffees. And you can see you got 2 less ounces in this one. So let's open them up. Again, there's the top needle, just a few coffee grounds. In here you get just a few more, see that? But that's really easy to fix. Just take the K-cup out, put an empty cup down there, and just do a fresh water rinse. It really cleans that top needle area. So with the MultiStream technology, I do find myself doing a few more, you end up doing more fresh water rinses than you do with the single needles, but you get used to it. So I'm just guessing, I'm gonna guess they're gonna start phasing out the single needle and all you're gonna see is the 5 needle MultiStream, but I don't know that for sure. So check out my next video. We're gonna have to switch, we're gonna have to do this reusable K-cup on this one with the 5 needles. We've got the new design, my K-cup. It's got the place for 5 needles. We take that red thing out, but we'll use it in this one. Again, they like the descale light after 250 brews. You have to put the machine into descale mode in order to get the light to go out by putting the solution in and hitting some buttons and running it through. So check out that video. I show you how to descale all 3 of these. There's also high altitude mode on all 3 of them. I'll put a link to them in my show description notes. Again, right now, this one is just on Amazon. These 2, this one's Target, and this one, and the Keurig website, and this one's Keurig website only. Thanks everybody for watching. If you could, please like and subscribe.